Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Who can forget the incredible urban legend of Bloody Mary? Everyone knows that if you stare into a mirror and flick the lights off and say Bloody Mary a few times, Bloody Mary is going to appear. This story terrified us as children, terrified us in the schoolyard, and has been passed down for generations. But where did it come from? Let's take a dive into the Bloody Mary urban legend. Let's get spooky. Hey, spooky people, it's your best friend Kenny here. And before we get into today's video, let's make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Let's make sure that you like and share this video. Share this video with your favorite ghost. Go ahead, the ghost that's haunting your house right now, tell him to check me out. Maybe he'll come haunt me. That might be cool. Could always use more ghosts in my house, so share it. Today we're going to talk about the Bloody Mary urban legend. We're going to talk about where it came from and, where it is today. You could call the origins of the Bloody Mary folktale a hazy cocktail of history and folklore. You see what I did there? But the origins of Bloody Mary are obscure. It's a blend of historical figures, folklore motifs, and even misremembered rituals. There's no definitive starting point for the urban legend, but there are a bunch of things that have sort of melted in to become the legend. The most commonly cited inspiration for Bloody Mary is Queen Mary I, the daughter of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. Her reign, which only lasted for 5 years, was marked by a brutal attempt to restore Catholicism to England. And this resulted in the execution of hundreds of Protestants. This is what earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. However, there's no clear link to the ritual of summoning her in the mirror with her nickname. The practice of using mirrors to summon spirits is called scrying, and it has ancient roots, stretching back to ancient Greece and Rome. Mirrors reflecting our world and yet seemingly holding another within have long been associated with the supernatural. The idea of summoning spirits or seeing the future in reflective surfaces is a recurring theme in folklore across many cultures. You'll recall magic mirrors, spirits in mirrors, and all sorts of fairy tales and other stories. So goes the Bloody Mary legend. Some folklorists believe that the Bloody Mary ritual has a connection to puberty rituals. The mirror is a symbol of vanity and self-reflection, and it becomes a tool to confront fears about adulthood, marriage, and death. The idea about chanting in the darkened room is to create a liminal space, a transitional space, between childhood and adulthood. Bloody Mary shares similarities with folklore figures like La Llorona, the weeping woman from Hispanic cultures, who is a ghostly woman who drowned her children and now searches for them, often near bodies of water. These woman in white or weeping women are common across cultures and often serve as cautionary tales. The Mary Worth, Mary Worthington, and other variations that spring up are direct links from this evolution. There's some speculation about the Bloody Mary legend being loosely tied to Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. She was rumored to bathe in the blood of virgins to maintain her youth. Very hard to get the blood of virgins, by the way. They don't have it on Amazon. They don't have it at Costco. And so who knows where she was getting all this blood to bathe in. And you need a lot of blood to bathe in it. So she must have had a pretty good setup. The core of the Bloody Mary legend involves a specific ritual designed to summon the spirit of Bloody Mary. The ritual almost always takes place in a bathroom at night. The bathroom is a private and often somewhat liminal space and adds to the atmosphere of secrecy and vulnerability. Also, bathrooms typically have mirrors, and a mirror is essential as it acts as the portal through which Bloody Mary is said to appear. The room is to be dark, often with only a single candle providing light or a single small light providing light. The darkness heightens a sense of fear and makes it easier to perceive shapes and shadows in the mirror's reflection. The participants chant Bloody Mary a specific number of times, usually 3, 13, or sometimes even 100. Now, it was always 3 for me. The repetition builds tension and acts as an invocation. Other variations include Mary Worth, Hail Mary, or other local variations. If the ritual is successful being a heavy loaded term here, right? Bloody Mary is said to appear in the mirror. Her appearance varies greatly depending on the telling. The most common depiction is of a woman with a blood-covered face or body. She sometimes supposedly appears as a distorted, screaming face with glowing eyes. In some versions, she is depicted as a skeletal or decaying figure, representing death. And sometimes the participant doesn't see anything but feels a presence, a cold spot, or hears whispering or scratching. After Bloody Mary appears, the consequences of summoning her range from scary to fatal. She might reach out through the mirror and scratch the participant. Another more extreme version claims she'll pull the summoner into the mirror, trapping them in her mirror world. In other variants, the sheer terror of the encounter is said to drive people to go completely insane. And in some versions of the tale, summoning Bloody Mary results in the participant's violent death. She's also said to curse those who call on her, or steal the person's soul who call on her. The Bloody Mary legend has evolved and adapted over time, spawning countless variations and retellings. Besides Bloody Mary, she's sometimes referred to as Mary Worth, Mary Worthington, Hell Mary, Mary Jane, and there's other localized names. You know, if there is a localized name that you know, please tell me about it in the comments. The name changes because of regional folklore and specific additions to the story. Folklore changes, and that's one of the exciting things about folklore. And so, depending on the region, depending on the teller, the name might change. The specific chant may change too. Some versions include phrases that replace Bloody Mary with another name. And some retellings of this tale provide a specific backstory for Bloody Mary, explaining why she haunts mirrors. These backstories often involve tragic deaths, betrayals, or murders. She might be portrayed as a witch who is executed and now seeks revenge. She might be a woman who is murdered and perhaps in front of a mirror and her spirit is trapped. Connecting with the La Llorona story, Bloody Mary might be mourning the loss of a child, or she may be a woman who died during childbirth. And sometimes she's said to be a victim of a car accident. Even today, Bloody Mary remains a powerful and persistent urban legend, and it's been deeply ingrained in popular culture. The ritual is a common activity at slumber parties and sleepovers, a rite of passage for many young people. I'm sure most of you watching this know that and learned of Bloody Mary through that type of slumber party or sleepover type situation. And you might have gotten really scared. The shared experience of fear and the thrill of the dare contribute to its continued popularity. Bloody Mary or variations of the legend have appeared in numerous films and television shows, including Candyman. Now, Candyman was always told along with Bloody Mary when I was growing up, but that also, Candyman came out in 1992 when I was a kid, and that might be a big part of it. They're similar, summoning a supernatural entity by repeating its name in front of a mirror. They're very similar stories. You might remember the movie Urban Legend, and Bloody Mary is featured as one of the several urban legends that come to life. The television show Supernatural featured a Bloody Mary episode. The movie Paranormal Activity 3 involves the characters playing the Bloody Mary game, which leads to consequences. And there are countless other horror films, TV shows, and books that have used the Bloody Mary legend as a source of inspiration, because it's a truly chilling legend. It's scary. There are also online stories, videos, and creepypasta dedicated to Bloody Mary. And this is how the Bloody Mary legend is evolving and reaching new audiences. The Bloody Mary urban legend is unsettling because it taps into primal fears. Fear of the dark, the anxiety of sitting in a dark room, fear of mirrors, their reflective properties, the long-standing association with the uncanny and the supernatural. Fear of the unknown, the idea of what might be lurking just beyond our perception. The fear of vengeful spirits and ghosts, also a very common fear. And the ritual itself involves relinquishing control, and the fear of loss and control is a pretty deep fear that a lot of people have. The Bloody Mary legend is a complex and enduring piece of folklore. It has unclear origins and constantly changing aspects to it. It's a testament to the power of the oral tradition and how oral folklore has continued and is now evolving into the internet space. Like I said, I think we all remember those moments playing Bloody Mary or being too scared to play Bloody Mary. And there was a reason for that. And that was because it was a particularly scary urban legend. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, The Spooky Lawyer. Make sure that you like and share this video. Please make sure you're following me on Blue Sky and TikTok. My username is AKBruce. Please make sure you're following me on Twitter. My username is AKBruce there as well. If there is a spooky or disturbing story you'd like to see me cover, please send me an email. My email address is thespookyLawyer@gmail.com. I appreciate you supporting me and supporting this channel. I appreciate you watching my videos and sharing these videos. It means a lot to me. And of course, I appreciate that you stay spooky.